Arizona State, Dennis Erickson in tow, 5-7, 13 returning starters. They got a big recruit linebacker, Vontaze Burfict, and Corey Adams, defensive end. He's doing it on defense. Quarterback, Samson Sakasi, fast quarterback. He's in there. And Williams, McGahee, and Taylor, their wide receivers.
One thing that's going on with that offense, there's a lot of rebuilding. They lost Rudy Carpenter. They lost the running back out there last season. His name forgets me right quick. But they lost a lot of talent on offense. They have to. It's a rebuilding year on offense in Arizona State.
4 offensive returning on the offensive line.
But there's a lot of talent at receiver, though.
Absolutely, with Williams, McGahee, and Taylor. How about Lawrence Soho, the sophomore defensive tackle, freshman All-American last year? He leads their defense.
That defense is gonna be fun to watch this year. I can't wait to see Arizona State play defense. You mentioned the true freshman Vontaze Burfict, 6'3", 245, a beast in the middle. He will be a star. You look at the Mike Nixon also gets his hands on a lot of balls as well too. You look as a linebacker, 5 interceptions. You know they have 6 starters return on their defense. The schedule is in their favor for them to make a run.
Of course, they got to return that game, Georgia in Athens. Should be a tough one for the Sun Devils. Got to go to the Pac-10. This is not a year to be a Sun Devil fan.
Exactly.
Washington 0-12 last year. Steve Sarkisian, formerly of USC, the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, takes over the program for Tyrone Willingham. 18 returning starters. Jake Locker still thinking about that celebration call, and they could have beat BYU last year. He returns, of course. Redshirt freshman Carlos Polk is going to be their tailback to go to.
Jake Locker is the key part of that offense. I'm interested to see Steve Sarkisian, what he can do with Jake Locker. I remember Sarkisian when he was an outstanding quarterback at BYU. If he can get anything out of Locker, that team could surprise some people on offense. The thing about with their offense, they just have to score points. Because they stunk last year on offense. But if he can get anything out of Locker, big guy, I love him.
Sarkisian also doing it the JUCO way, brings in 6 from the lower college level, and their offensive line can't get any worse. They returned 3 of them, so
and they need to find a running game too. So that they offensive line, running back, they need to find talent.
10 defensive starters return, led by first-team All-Pac-10 defensive end Dan Teo Nisheim.
One thing about that defense, they returned 10 starters, but it's a situation where do you really want those 10 starters back on that defense that gave up 38 points a game? That's tough. 66% completion percentage from opposing quarterbacks. They have to do better.
No one wants to be a Cougars fan. Washington State 2-11 last year. At least they got the Huskies, but they got Paul Wolf in there as their coach. 15 returning starters. Kevin Lapina is going to lead the way. He's a senior. Kenny Alford, the senior center, who's going to anchor the O-line. And they got a transfer running back from Cal, James Montgomery, trying to run.
I like James Montgomery. I think he's going to be all right. He's a real good player. He's compact, and he can make some moves. He can make people miss. He can catch the ball out the backfield.
On defense, Lewis Bland, freshman All-American, sophomore last year.
Mm-hmm.
He leads their defense.
Well, one thing about that defense, I don't know if anybody could lead a defense that gave up 43.8 points a game. That's not a good look. Anybody and everybody ran the ball on Washington State last year. They gave up 5.8 yards a carry, almost 6 yards a carry for any running back. So that has to improve. That's one reason why they were 2-11 last year.
In for a long year. Out of conference, they got Hawaii, Southern Methodist, and Notre Dame. And in conference, it's brutal, the road schedule. USC, Oregon, Cal, and Arizona all on the road.
One thing it's tough to, looking at that schedule, it's tough to expect anything out of Washington State. But I think, they are about 2 years away from making a real push to make some noise.
Pac-10 preseason picks for Emery and I. Here we go. Newcomer of the year. A lot of JUCOs in the Pac-10. I'm going with a true freshman, though. Who are you going with?
I'm going with quarterback Matt Barkley of USC. I think he's going to get some playing time this year, a lot of playing time, especially if USC stumbles out the gate.
Let's go with Vontaze Burfict, the linebacker at Arizona State. He's going to be a future stud, future NFL player right there. Offensive player of the year.
Job at best. Hands down, best running back in the Pac-10.
Love him too. Let's go on a limb here. Damian Williams, former Arkansas wide receiver, now at USC. Had a year in there last year. He's going to be their go-to guy. Defensive player.
Taylor Mays, hands down, best player in the conference.
Like him also. Let's go to UCLA. Alteron Werner, their cornerback. He's going to shut it down. Pro prospect.
Pro prospect, I'm going to go defense first. Taylor Mays again, the big safety. He can run real fast. His problem, though, he has to learn how to catch passes, but he may be more of a strong safety suit fit in the NFL, but I love him as a pro prospect. Offense, I'm going to go with Arizona's tight end, Ron Gronkowski. Big guy, can move, he can get down the field, and has soft hands.
Let's go Christopher O'Dowd, the center from USC. You know, they just put him in the NFL like it's their job. Let's go O'Dowd, the center of USC, the senior, first team Pac-10. I like him. Your pick.
My pick, USC, hands down. But don't sleep on Cal. And if Arizona can make a few, if they can they have the schedule to make a run. But I'm gonna have to pick USC.
I'm not sleeping on Cal. Let's go with Cal. They're gonna beat USC. They're gonna win it out. They're gonna go to a Rose Bowl. It's Cal to win the Pac-10. I'm going out on a limb. Let's go with your under-the-radar long shot to make noise in the Pac-10.
Arizona is my long shot, but keep an eye on Stanford. Stanford has a schedule that can be conducive to them getting to a bowl game.
I like Stanford also, but let's go with the Bruins of UCLA here. It's hard. I love Stanford, love UCLA. Think UCLA is going to bring more defense and win it that way. And that's our Pac-10 preview from Football Game Plan. For more college conference previews for 2009, visit footballgameplan.com/NCAA.